Let me up the thing.
Oh.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the RF Fitness
Hey
Podcast, brought
guys.
to you, hey guys, by rffitness.net, your source for
Huh.
online coaching, built for and by busy grown-ups, just like
What?
you, who are on the quest
Me?
for health and strength, like you, who are on the quest for health and strength in everyday life. I am your host, Rob Finlayson, believe it or not, certified personal trainer, elder brother, and little baby thick boy. And
Ew.
and I'm here with my disgusted co-host.
Super grossed out Rachel. Certified attempting to be fitter person, younger sister. Did I say Rachel Hammerud? That's my name.
Don't
And
wear it out.
I am a raccoon fox with a corn nose.
I'm gonna need to unpack that. Can we talk
We
about
got
what that
these
means?
because I'm literally staring at it. I wonder if I can show it to you.
Listeners, right now what Rachel is doing is turning the camera of her laptop around to show me the contents of her living room. There's what appears to be a child's art easel. Pinned on it is
Yours.
a drawing. It is the one that Olivia used to use. Pinned on it is a page from a coloring book. It appears to be a fox, and there was what looks like a child's attempt at perhaps finger painting or coloring with a marker over mostly its face in orange.
But does it not look like it has a corn nose, like a snowman corn nose?
Listeners, for because again, this is an audio format podcast. You're not seeing a
Guys,
fox.
look.
You're not seeing a drawing of a fox who definitely has a regular fox nose. It doesn't look like any kind of vegetable.
Bro, that is a snowman corn nose.
I'm just attempting to give an accurate visual
Okay, whatever.
reading.
It's a fox. Linnea is hell bent on that. It's a raccoon.
I mean, I guess without like the color patterning on it, a fox and a raccoon are morphologically very similar.
I suppose, but only one has a corn nose.
Wrong.
No, I meant
Neither
carrot. Have I
animal.
been saying corn this entire time? I
Oh
meant
my god,
carrot.
dude. Okay, so here's something I wanted to do that's a new strategy for our podcast. I want to give an
Which I think is
overview.
ridiculous.
What?
This idea.
To give it
I
a
think
strategy for the podcast? I want to
to
give an overview at the beginning of the episode so that you, listener, know what to expect, and that you, Rachel, and I, Rob, know when we're getting way too far off the rails. If we have one note consistently, it's the swearing, but I don't fucking care about that as much. The second note we get very
Oh,
consistently, the second note we get consistently is that we fly off the rails too much, which is fine. Also, I did
woohoo!
have a couple of people reach out and ask about like where to podcast at because we missed last week's recording. We just had a lot going on, but I appreciate people asking. It feels good to know that we're missed.
That is so funny because that's normally how it is for me. Nobody said anything about me.
And I know what
To
it's like
me.
to be me.
So lonely.
So I'm so lonely. But yeah, we didn't record last week. We had a lot of stuff going on, mostly me. It was just high stress. You know, it was a very high stress household. We kind of just I needed to just not be on for like another night of the week, and it was fine. And I feel great now. So thank everybody who was concerned.
It
Uh,
can literally be so exhausting to be so charismatic.
wow, dude. Let's put that on a t-shirt. And so maybe that should be the first piece of merch
I
for the
think
show.
so.
It can be so exhausting to be so charismatic. It can be exhausting to be so charismatic.
You know what I mean?
So here we are. This is why I want to give an overview for the episode. We're falling off the road. Choo-choo. All right, there's 1, 2, 3 main sections I want to talk about. The updates in our lives. It's been 2 weeks. Some things to talk about. Whatever. It doesn't have to be long. Progress checks. We both have our own projects going on. You have Operation Fitter Rachel. I have hashtag Road to 200. They are progressing. Let's talk about it. And then finally, I want to talk about the login bonus. which is this kind of coaching training idea I've been playing around with and using lately, that I think is very helpful and very useful. And with that, I think we should jump into go time. Rachel,
Woohoo!
give me a little update on life. What's been going on?
Um,
Be charismatic, though.
okay.
If you
It's
have the
so
if you have the energy
hard.
for it. If you have the energy for it,
I
sis.
don't, honestly. My dog woke my kid up from a nap super early and she was a monster all night.
Sucks.
Yeah, so shout out to Not Gunther again. Um,
Ugh.
yeah, so life has been stressful in different ways. When is life not stressful? I'll wait. Um,
Yeah.
and
I think
and
this is
so
how life is, man.
yeah, it sure is. I was talking to Missy, my therapist, in case you guys forgot in the last 2 weeks, and I said, um,
Nobody forgot. If they've listened this far, nobody
all I talk
forgot.
about is Missy and Yodo. And so I said, when do people stop going to therapy? When they stop having problems? That will never happen. That seems insane. And she said, well, yeah, so the whole point of therapy is learning to like cope with the stress happening. So you
Yeah.
don't stop having problems, you just learn how to cope with it. And I'm like, well, I hope you don't retire anytime soon because
I'm gonna have problems
yeah.
forever. I read somewhere someone said that being an adult is just saying, "I'll wait until the dust settles forever and ever until you die."
Yes,
Yeah, because it doesn't ever, and if it
it
does,
doesn't.
more dust gets kicked.
Real dusty.
So
Um,
dusty up in this piece, dude.
I have my charity event tomorrow that not mine, but like what the one that I'm
Yes,
going to,
the gala.
the gala. Pretty pumped for that.
Oh yeah,
Though it is going to be super hot and super stormy. Kind of a bummer. Good
is
thing
it
it's not
outside?
outside. It's not outside, so I don't need to worry about
Okay.
animals.
Ha
Um,
ha.
Actually, there will be a ton of animals
That's
there, ironically.
it's literally for and about animals. You told us they will be there.
Indeed. Um, yeah, so the kid is sick. Other
Yeah,
things are happening. But man, yeah, I was just telling you before the episode started that I'll have like really good days, and then it'll be 2 or 3 days of bad, and then a really good day, and it'll be like, this is it, and then it's not it. Um, turns out to not be it, but I mean, this is definitely turning into what I thought it would of being the real look of what it's like to lose
yeah,
weight, period. Um,
yeah.
but this, I feel like, is the only time in my life that I've been like, this is just a pause.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give up kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
much so that I thought I am trying different tactics. Nothing is working, and so might as well, if you want to quote once again the great Ti, if you want to get things you've never had, you got to do things you've never done. You know what I've never done? Powerlifting. You know what I think I'd be pretty decent at? Running. Just kidding. Powerlifting. Um,
This plan got you. We're saying if you guys are still paying attention.
yeah, I know. Brought up by one of my friends who brought up my width
With there's a D.
width.
Thank you.
Yep.
Flawless no
So
notes.
perfect. So I think it was kind of a funny story how that came about, but
Yeah.
kind of gave me the idea. Hey, I think I'd be decent at it, and also because my once again plantar fasciitis, P
Ah,
fasciitis, singing. Um,
the Pifashy crew.
yeah, man. So it's the worst crew to be in.
Sound
So
off. Yeah.
we both have crazy schedules. This was just the idea that I gave you 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
We'll see what
We'll talk about that
happens.
in the progress checks section
We'll see what
of the
happens.
of the episode. Good. Yes. Is that all for your updates on life?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, here's some from Rob. I got a fucking sword the other day, you guys. It's in audience.
Oh,
You
that
can't see
is.
this, but I'm pointing at it right
Oh,
now.
okay. So, audience,
Let's
what
see.
I am looking at is a very large sword. He has a flag that is it, would you say that's an average size flag?
There's an average sized flag.
So, average size,
Do you know what flag that is? Whose flag it
tr-
is?
tree stars.
It's Gondor. It's the white tree of Gondor with the 7 stars.
I don't know what that means.
Wow. Wow. Oh man, that's right. You've never seen Lord of the Rings, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it your tree star sword or your tree star flag.
Tree
So,
stars.
tree stars. Which isn't that a Land Before Time?
It is. Yes, he eats tree
Yeah.
stars.
Yeah,
Or
cute.
she eats tree stars.
Um,
Is Littlefoot a boy or a girl dinosaur?
I obviously, well, maybe not obviously. I think everyone thinks he's a boy, but I think he's actually a girl.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't think it. So here's the thing. It doesn't matter.
We don't need to gender
We
dinosaurs.
don't need to gender this dinosaurus. I mean, some of them are clearly like masculine coded. Some of them are clearly more female coded.
Sarah.
Sarah is clearly a very rude little girl.
It's,
Uh,
honestly.
it's a very rude little girl. I think that honestly they use
Maybe
gender
she's having
pronouns
her Brat Summer.
to refer. She's having a brat fucking Paleolithic era. Cenozoic, more like. But yeah, like I think whatever.
Yeah.
Yo, fucking dino knowledge, dude. Olivia could tell you.
That's
Anyways,
true.
life update.
Big sword.
I got a sword. It is a HEMA training sword. HEMA HEMA is historical European martial arts. From my best boy Ethan. Shout out. So
Where
it's
does he,
actually
how does he have the sword hookup?
he bought it. I think from the internet
Oh,
for my birthday. It's funny because
dang.
yeah, he bought it for my birthday, and I got it from him like 2 days ago in the middle of
Whatever.
on like the 14th of September. We just like hadn't like met in a person until
In a
then.
person, yeah.
You know,
That's where I like to do
inside of
all
a
my
person.
hangings. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
Moby Dick style.
inside of a person. Join on the whale style. Yeah, apparently he ordered from the internet, and he got to his house literally the day after my party. And then yeah, so like
Ah,
August 5th or whatever,
lame.
which stinks, but you know, I finally got it.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking into HEMA training schools because there are a couple around. There's the Center for Blade Arts, or the Minnesota Fencing School, which Ethan has apparently trained at in the past. And there's one called Ram's Head Fencing, which is a little bit newer, but I got to like kind of see what fits the schedule
So
and the.
is HEMA like a subset of fencing?
Yeah, yes, kind of. So like like Olympic fencing, when we think of fencing, the sport is very different. So they use like foil, epee, and rapier, and they have like very distinct like scoring and like techniques that are allowed. HEMA uses so like the sword that I have is like a long sword. So think like the swords that they use in Lord of the
It is a
Rings.
very long sword.
It's probably 3.5 feet long from hilt to tip. A little bit longer if you count the all the way to the handle. But yeah, it's meant to be wielded with two hands or one hand. And the rules that you
Not three
use,
hands.
not three hands, unless you have a very brave and consenting partner to three-hand it with you. You
Okay.
don't want to do a non-consensual sword handling. I think that's frowned upon in the human community and probably by the law at large.
Fair.
But yeah, human fencing. If you look it up, it's really cool. It's basically fencing like quote unquote playing tag with swords. But the
Right.
swords are different, and like the armor is a little bit different, and the techniques used are a little different. It's a bit more like dynamic, I think. Than I mean, fencing
Hmm.
is already an extremely dynamic, explosive sport, but
So is the
it's
sword
just very cool.
sharp?
It is not. So this sword is a
Okay.
synthetic. It is plastic, but it is weighted so that it has the true weight and the true dimensions of like an actual metal longsword would be.
Huh.
So it weighs like somewhere between 4 and 6 pounds. Like the thing about swords that I think people don't realize is that they are surprisingly light because they're not meant to be these heavy bashing weapons. They're meant to be like lightning quick so that you can like poke a dude or stab a dude really fast. Because you don't need to like run a dude all the way through his plate armor like they do in the movies, because that's not how like it works in real life. You need to like poke a guy a bunch of times until he leaks enough blood
Ew.
that he can't fight anymore.
Oh,
Ew,
don't.
brother. So fighting is cool. Fighting is fun. These are the hobbies that I do. Mom and Dad didn't want me to watch pro wrestling when I was a kid because they were afraid it would make me violent. And now I'm a recreational violence enthusiast. Sorry, guys. It's going to happen no matter what. Apparently,
Title?
it's just who I am. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I've used that terminology plenty of times. Recreational
I think
violence.
also hanging out inside of a person is a good title.
I feel like there's too many
No.
um, other connotations
Nope.
that we could do with that. But yeah, so that's my big project right now. I'm also doing the road to 200. We were talking about little workouts. I'm changing up my workouts. I'm getting back into jujitsu. I'm changing my focus right
Wait, I
now
didn't know there was
from.
a pause on jujitsu.
I mean, there wasn't like an official pause. It's just I fell off it for a while. Like I've still, Lord knows, I've still been paying dues to the gym. I just don't get there as often as I'd like to.
Oh, okay.
But now that like because like we got to the school year, and then there's like a bunch of stuff like we kind of like tumble in, like when does the dust settle? It never does. Like I often feel like life, I should say like my life, but like I think like life in general feels like you're constantly running at like a very slight downward angle. Like
Yeah.
if you go at a slight downward angle and you intentionally try and pick up speed, you can sometimes kind of lose control even of
Yes.
your own feet. And
Yes.
sometimes it feels like I'm just stumbling forward into stuff very quickly. And sometimes it feels
Absolutely.
like I actually have my feet under me. And right
Hashtag
now,
life. Hashtag parenting.
yes,
But
hashtag everything. And right now it feels like we're kind of getting into the groove of things. We're kind of getting our feet under us a little bit more. We're out of like the stumbling. Because like when you stumble, you're going very fast, but it's like not as controlled. And
yeah.
that was definitely the past like 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks
Okay.
for us, which is a reason why I needed to take last week off. It was just so much. Like my life was not terribly stressful, but like Mo and her school things were just like so much. Oh my God. It was so
Fair.
much. So I just needed to be there for Mo and be like a supportive husband and like be a supportive dad as much as hard as I could for the kiddo,
We
which
love to see
we
it.
love to see it, but it does take it takes energy out of my core as well,
Yeah. I think
which is
everyone is
fine.
also desperate for a update on how Olivia is liking school.
Olivia's in kindergarten. She's been there for about a month now, and she fucking loves it, dude. This kid
Yeah.
is built for school, dude. Although I can't.
I'm built different.
She gets homework from kindergarten, which is not as bad as it sounds. It's literally like trace these lines,
Right.
like color in this shape. What color did you make the shape? How many shapes are this color? Write down that number. And then like they practice writing the numbers. They're never practicing writing letters yet. They're practicing
Mm.
like how to move a pencil, like how
Yes.
to hold a pencil, like how to draw lines. And like these lines become the shapes that become letters, which I think is really interesting. It's cool to see this kind
Yeah.
of pedagogical evolution in real
I was
time.
just about to say that.
I wanted to steal it from it. It's a really good little soundbite. But it's cool to see that in real time. However, Mo did have to have a little talk with me about how homework should work. Believe it or not,
We didn't
listeners
have
who've
any issues with
not
homework.
known me for my entire life, my entire scholastic career, I'm not my track record with homework, not stellar.
Huh.
And I'm trying my best not to pass that on to Olivia. So apparently she gets 2 folders home every day. There's a red one and a blue one. They're for different subjects, math and reading. I don't know which is
Can you
which.
take the red one or the blue one?
Mo is gonna. I don't know which is which. One of
It's
them is
just
math. One of
yelling.
them is meeting.
Blue is reading.
I think red is reading because they start with R. I don't know. You know what?
Oh wow, that's
You know
a
what? You know what? I'll find out tomorrow or whenever she
go.
listens to this episode.
Yeah, for real. Be
But
like,
one
oh,
of
I know you're listening, honey. Love
no,
you.
no, it's here's another thing that happens in real time. We all get to learn together. You'll find out next week, listeners. But one of them always has 2 sides to the worksheet, and one of them pretty much never does. So for the first couple of days, I was just assuming that they both only had one sheet because I'd pull out the one sheet and look on the
Yeah.
facts, and I was like, oh, because there's only one side. I assume they both only have one side. Not the case, dear listener. And
Always
also,
check the backside.
Also, apparently, you're supposed to put it back in the folder and put the folders back in her backpack so the teacher can take them out and look at them. I didn't realize that was the case. I thought we were just supposed to like do it at
Do them
home
at
and like,
home.
yeah,
Yeah.
keep it as like practice, whatever. And Mo was like, no, you need to give them back so she can grade it. It's part of her grade. She's graded on this. She's like pulling her. I love my wife so much, but I can definitely tell she gets frustrated with me sometimes, which is completely fair. I forget stuff. I got an ADHD brain. She super does not.
Yeah.
It's gonna be times when we miss when I miss things or fumble the bag, whatever. I own that. And since she had that little teacher talk with me, we've done every side. It goes back in the folder every time. But she's like, you gotta read the emails. You gotta do both sides. You gotta do the things. And I'm just like getting flashbacks to doing my homework when I was a kid, like how much I fucking hated it, and it's like all the
Yes.
details. Like you gotta like do the thing right. And you gotta do both sides, and it's just like, oh my god, it's just like I
Yes.
did all
It
the homework.
needs to
I
be
did homework for
organized.
like
Put it
18
like
years, you guys. I don't want to
yes.
fucking do it ever again. But now, guess what? I get to do it for another 18 years. But now it's someone else's.
Yeah. And now
God
everything is
damn it.
completely different.
And now
Like,
so different. Which I mean, again, because it's happening in real time. Like I assume, as we see it in homework, I'll kind of be learning about it as she does. But
mm-hmm.
also, the ideal situation is that Mo would help her with the math homework, and I can help her with like the reading English
Right.
homework because that's my skill set. I'm better at language stuff. Believe it or not, as a person who runs a podcast and plays Dungeons and Dragons all the time, I'm good at talking. I do words good, guys. Anyways, that's my updates on
Also,
life.
so charismatic.
That's why I'm so exhausted from being so charismatic all the time.
Honestly, running a business, being a dad, not that
Yeah,
hard. Being charismatic, exhausting.
exhausting. Honestly, it's not. I'm not gonna lie. It's not that hard. You guys, I
I
just get
mean,
up every day and I fucking do it.
yeah, it's not that hard for most of the time. I think like so people will always be like, "Is Eric always laughing? Like you're so
Oh yeah,
funny. Is he just
yeah.
always dying?" And I was just like, I think it's kind of similar to like comedians' spouses. Like they don't find that person
Don't
uber
they?
funny. Like,
I think Mo finds me pretty funny. She laughs a lot,
fair enough.
but you got to know the audience too.
Yeah.
You gotta make jokes for them sometimes.
I don't know a whole lot of fishing jokes. Life update: we bought a boat.
Why? I mean, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you for having the correct response.
You just guys needed another money pit or what? Like the chickens
Yeah,
aren't doing it for you. What's up with the
yeah.
chickens though? What them chickens do?
Did I update that they
I
laid?
haven't heard
That
any
they paid rent, baby.
paid a rent. They've been laid.
Ew. Yep. Yeah.
You did it.
Gross chicken thing. Eric said that because I mean Eric has gone so far into the deep end of chicken knowledge and stuff,
Okay.
which I respect.
He's deep in the chicken
Um,
hole.
yes. Um, but he said he knew that they were going to be laying soon because they started to submit to him, which makes which
What?
apparently I know, but it is
Like
actually a
like in
thing
a like in a
in a sexual way. You're
I
right.
mean, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Chicken like turned around, gave him a wink.
Sorry, sorry we all had to find out this way, guys.
Yeah. So when the chickens are ready, because essentially, like chicken eggs are its period,
Yeah.
and so when you're ready to breed, you're a woman or whatever.
Okay.
Like like when
I'm
you have your
learning so
period,
much right
you've
now.
when you have your period, you become a woman, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the chickens will submit, as in when you try to pet them, they just kind of like lay down and put their butts up.
Oh.
You know, uh,
You know. like a chicken do.
Well, as like pretty much all mammals do.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, we won't. Anyway, so the
I
chickens laid some eggs.
I'm at a loss. Okay. Yes. Are they good? Have you eaten them? Have you consumed
Yes,
them?
they're so good, and the shells are super thick. But
Mm.
side funny story. So we had this Renewal by Anderson guy come to give us a new, extremely expensive door.
Okay.
Um, oh, good God, did I not know doors were this much money?
Like your front door?
Yes.
Front doors, I think, would be super expensive.
I said, does it open and close?
For real? Is it over a thousand
That's
dollars?
yes.
Does it look nice?
I don't know. It's not here yet.
Oh,
Um,
wow!
I was just like, the cheapest option, please. The
And it
cheapest
was
option,
still over $1,000
8 times that, my friend.
for a fucking door. Did
Yes.
Eric need one with like some fucking special tactical shit on it or what? Or is this what doors
Literally,
are
it was
now?
an option, and we said no to that. That was
That's
an extra,
genuinely
like,
surprising.
wow, yeah. It was an extra $800. Um, I don't, I was shooketh.
Dude, my flabbergasted right now at how expensive
I'm
that is. That's
saying,
wild. Is that for
right?
like that must be for installation as well as the door, right?
Yes, and it's like because it's like they do the around and the kickboard and the thing
Sure,
and
yeah, all the
the
stuff.
yeah the whole rigmarole kind of thing. And I was just like, why can't we just go to Menards and get a door? And he was like, well, that's what we did last time, and it
Mm,
looks like crap. And
yeah.
he's like, it leaks a bunch of air, and I was just like, I mean, put a garbage bag over it,
We
like
just had the high efficiency or like the energy saver squad come out to our house like last week.
just like okay,
That was fucking dope, dude. Highly recommend, by the way. If you have
isn't
Centerpoint
it
Energy,
free?
it is free o'clock, dude. Yes.
Amazing.
Free
Okay.
99. Highly recommend. If you live in Minnesota or in the cities, you probably have Centerpoint Energy. Go on their
Yeah.
website, look for like HES, it's high energy systems, like high efficiency systems, something like that. You can like schedule like a team. There's like 3 people that come out to your house and they're super nice and they're like energy nerds and they're like stoked to talk to you about
Yeah.
energy
Right.
saving stuff. Like this is what they do because they're into it and it's so
Right.
cool. Like I go down like TikTok rabbit holes, whatever, of just like people doing random professions, but they're like very into it and very good at it.
Hmm.
Like I spent like hours on this one dude's account when he was just like a roofer and like he would lay tile and shingle and stuff like that. But he was very good at it. He was like explaining everything he did. And he was clearly really enthusiastic. And I think that for me, that's something that's just so interesting. Like to
Yes,
watch
dude.
someone that's good at
Same.
something talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, that's like when I was getting like our mom married a guy that is super good at wood finishing and
Yeah.
stuff. And so he like works with all these like master and I was like, I could care less what wood looks like, but to like watch these guys like work and like
Yes. To see them do a
like
thing.
it was
Yeah.
so cool. Like if you are like the master in your craft, like
Yeah.
I want to know about it.
Yeah.
Not maybe like an hour.
There
But
is an upper limit.
there is,
But
yes,
I
yeah.
think there is like a very like human brain like dopamine release thing of like watching a person do something they're really good at. And like even if I don't have like I don't know fucking shit about roofing. But like I'm watching this guy do it and I was like, I can tell he's really good at this. He's like this he's so
Yes.
efficient, he's so fast, everything's so clean. It's like, wow, this is pretty good. This is pretty neat. Anyways,
Yes.
these energy nerds came out to the house and they were like, replaced a bunch of our light bulbs and they put like storm things around our door, not storm things, whatever, like energy saving air filter shit around the back door because it leaks air all the time. I was like, yeah, our
Huh.
house is cold on the back door. It's like, oh, it's because of this. Another thing, we'll just like throw it in. It was free. They gave us a brand new thermostat because our other thermostat was bad. So the
For
batteries
free?
for free, a brand new thermostat. They was gonna be a smart, like a Nest thermostat, I think for free, but our house is too old and dumb. the dude was like, so I was gonna give you one of these Nest ones, but it doesn't work because I can tell that the wiring in your house, I think his language was all wonky because
Mm.
like there's things that are threaded weird and things that are not to code, and he's like,
So I'm just gonna leave you with that knowledge.
yeah. So it's like I assumed that wasn't you. I was like, no, this has been like a starter home like 8 different times, and we've talked about this already on the podcast. But like this thing is like a fucking Frankenstein house now.
Humpty
Um,
Dumpty wired your house.
you might as well have, dude. I don't know.
Title:
Yeah.
Humpty Dumpty wired my house.
Humpty Dumpty wired your house. Humpty Dumpty burned down the mouse. But yeah, they gave me a brand new thermostat, which was great. The other thermostat was weirdly so it took two AA batteries, but like the thing where you put the batteries in was too long to fit two AA batteries by like
It's
literally a centimeter and a
Humpty
half.
Dumpty. Why'd you
And
put that one in there?
it was just like that when we bought the house.
Huh.
And I like the day we moved in, I was like, that's not right. So I took a stick of gum and I folded up the
I
little
was just
tin
about to say,
foil.
yeah, put some like
Yeah.
aluminum foil in
Yeah. A
there.
little aluminum foil. And I put that in there. And that gum wrapper has been running our thermostat for like 8 years
Amazing.
until we got a brand new one last week. Hooray. Thanks,
Hey.
HES guys. Um,
Yes.
yeah,
Hey, you know
life
what? I
update.
didn't finish my door story.
By all means, please finish.
So the guy was really into the chickens. People go
Oh,
crazy for
yeah.
chickens,
They're
and
cool.
so oh, okay, yeah. So the submitting chickens. So once your
Okay.
chickens start wanting it, then you can
Mm.
put ceramic eggs in their nesting boxes, and then they're like, "Oh, I guess I should do that here." Um,
Like a dummy
and
egg like to show them like this is
yes,
the deal.
correct. And
Huh.
literally 2 days later, we had our first egg.
Huh.
I was just like, I mean, that's crazy.
That's
Um,
pretty cool.
right. I was telling Em, I said, it's is it like leaving like used tampons everywhere and then you being like, I should have my period?
Probably not used ones, I guess. I don't know if it's the kind of thing you control, but again, I don't know.
Super isn't.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But so we, when Eric was talking to this guy, Linnea and I, because I was wrangling Linnea, she wanted to go see the chickens, and we checked. Chickens also have what's known as their egg song. When they're done
Oh,
laying, they will sing this little song, lets you know
wow.
they're ready.
How convenient.
Um, Hot and fresh. So we go down there to collect them, and I was like, "Oh my god, 4 eggs!" I was so excited. This is the
Yeah.
most eggs we've ever gotten. So I gave Linnea one. I said, "You need to be so careful
Yeah.
carrying this up the stairs. Oh my god, please be careful!" And so we're carrying him up the stairs, and we're like, I put him in, the little safe area, and
Mm-hmm.
I almost offered this guy an egg. Thank God I didn't, but also I wish I did for the sake of the story. But I was just like, we got 4 eggs, baby. Like this guy's into chickens. Let's be a
Yeah.
homie and give him an egg.
Yeah.
But we didn't. And
His loss.
so yeah. Well, just wait. So
Okay.
he leaves, and Eric's just like, uh, "Did you mean to pick up the dummy eggs?"
Lol.
I was like, "Oh shit, no." I was like, could you imagine if I
If you
was just
gave
like,
that guy a fucking
yes,
like a dummy prank egg,
yes.
got you,
And
idiot.
he'd go home and be like, what?
Try try to crack it into his pan and it just
Yes.
shatters and like ceramic dust is all over his stove. What the fuck?
Really? This isn't even funny. I laughed so hard, like 2 tears to myself about just
That's
imagining this guy just
really
like
funny.
really safely bringing home this single egg and then
Just cradling it, like one hand on the steering wheel, one hand cradling the egg.
yes,
Ever so gently.
and then he has like 3 kids and be like, okay kids, gather around.
A stranger gave me this in her backyard. Let's eat it.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
It's still just as funny. Okay.
Let's move on
Okay.
to progress checks.
Oh, I thought we kind of did that. All right.
Well, I mean, we covered a little bit. So, all right. So, okay. So the progress
It's
check
like
on,
us doing homework. I thought I already did
yes,
this.
there's two sides. Progress checks, RE, Operation Fitter or Rachel. We talked about how we're kind of seeing a little bit of a pause here. Things are stressful, but you brought up a possible solution to getting out of a rut, and you had this idea of powerlifting. I want to
Yes.
know a little bit about like what do you know about powerlifting? What about it appeals to you, and how and why do you think that's going to help you in this rut?
Nothing. I'm strong.
Okay.
I've never done it before.
Okay. Wow. Good. All right. Well, that's it, guys. This has been an RF Fitness podcast. 35 minutes, shortest episode yet. No, god damn it. It's powerlifting.
I
What do
literally know.
you
I
you
know
know
you
nothing?
lift heavy
Okay,
things.
so
I know
so
there's
what
something
if
called a clean
so what then
jabs.
what about it appeals to you? Like why do you because you said like I think I'd be good at it, but you don't know what it is. There's a disconnect happening.
Yeah, so
I want to
it's
know. I
called
want to know.
confidence.
Okay, I'm gonna be calm.
Cool, cool, cool.
Tell me a little bit about what you like about the idea.
Because it is exercise that doesn't involve being on my feet a lot.
Okay.
I think it is. I think it would just be like, I just desperately want to know how much I can
Lift.
clean
Okay.
is the word, right?
That is a word. That is an exercise that happens with a
It's a
barbell.
word.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Also, I think also a big motivator is because Eric was talking about he has like a bunch of weightlifting high scores, whatever it's called, records. Yeah,
Records. Okay. I like high
yeah.
scores.
Pew, pew. Um,
Put in a name. Oh,
because
there's only three letters. ERC, I guess. Erk.
yeah, the door guy was just like, "Hey, I think I recognize your last name. I went to
Uh,
Spring Lake Park. That's where Eric went to Spring Lake Park." And he was just like trying to figure out how he knew his last name or whatever. And he was just like, "Well, my name is in the weightlifting room, but
you might
on the high
recognize my
scoreboard,
name from the
Irk.
weightlifting room.
You might recognize my
ERC.
name, Irk."
Erk.
Um, so uh, yeah, I was just like, man, I want to see how strong I am compared to 18-year-old Eric. Um, but I mean, yeah, I think I feel like fitness is hard and confusing,
Mm-hmm.
but just being able to lift heavy things, also because of honestly, now that yeah, TikTok makes me want to power lift.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, and
You see it on social media. It seems
see it in
attractive.
social media. I see it a lot more of women with my body type
For sure.
that are successful. I see a lot of women that are not my body type doing aerobics and
Hmm.
stuff. So,
There are petite women who weightlift as well.
oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I do a lot of lifting heavy things by myself
Yeah.
at work.
Sure. Alive things even.
A lot of things, yeah. And I think it's I could, I mean, maybe be wrong, but I feel like it would be easier to track your progress versus being like, I
Yeah.
can do 20 sit ups. Now I can do 22 sit ups and I'm 10% less tired, kind of thing. That's just like, I
Right.
can pick up 5 more pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely one of the benefits I think of it as far as like a metric of success.
Right,
It's very
right.
clear cut.
Yes, yeah. And because of all of your knowledge that you've shared on the podcast about how strength training, weightlifting is significantly more effective than
Oh, that's the fucking bee's knees, dude.
the type of exercise I hate anyway. So I have never power lifted.
I think you'd be good at it.
Thank you. Watch me be
Yeah.
horrible. Um,
No, I'll watch you be good at it instead. Uh,
Thanks.
can I drop some knowledge on you about RE powerlifting? Okay, so powerlifting, the sport, consists of three lifts, all done with the barbell.
Oh,
It is the bench press, the back squat, and the deadlift, sometimes called
this feels
SBD.
very Deathly Hollows.
Yes, got kind of spooky names, yeah.
Yeah.
It is not an Olympic sport. You were mentioning the clean, which is part of the clean and jerk, and sometimes also the snatch. Those are Olympic weightlifting movements, Olympic weightlifting events, which is a distinct sport of weightlifting. Also extremely effective. Also is probably one of the most like complete disciplines around strength training, I think.
Huh.
Olympic weightlifting more so even than powerlifting. But powerlifting, I think it's very popular as far as like a way to lift weights. And I think for a lot of reasons. One, it's very accessible. All you need is one barbell and like one setup, basically, like one squat rack and a bench, and like one set of weights, and you're pretty much good to go for like years and years and years. If you don't do that at home, then you can get like to an anytime anyone that has like a barbell and a squat rack, you can do powerlifting there. There are leagues and competitions and meets around all around the country, all around the state, around the city.
You do
If
those,
you,
right?
uh, God, no, I don't. It's there's also like online like virtual meets where you just like record your lifts or like record the numbers that you did. I'm in a really good, if you're on Facebook and you're looking for a super awesome fitness community, you should go to ETP, Eat Train Progress on Facebook.
Hmm.
It's literally the best fitness page on the entire social media webosphere. I've been in it for years. The guy who runs it, Patrick, is a hyper cool dude. I've met him in real life several times. He used to work at the YMCA in
Oh,
Ridgedale. This is like
is it a
many.
Minnesota based group?
Yes, yeah, he's from
Oh,
Minnesota.
cool.
Yeah, his kids live here. He lives, he a little school and stuff like that. Really interesting guy, super cool dude. Like like leagues ahead of me as far as like coaching. Really
Hmm.
cool guy. So yeah, I'd say look up that. They are the entire group is very much centered around powerlifting because that is what Patrick coaches. That is his sport of speciality is powerlifting. So if you're interested, I'd say highly check that out. He also has a program called FART, Focused Adipose Reduction Team,
Already doing it, Patrick.
which is it gives you a little peek into the mind of how Patrick is as a
That's
coach and
very
as a
funny.
person. Yeah, he's a super goofy dude. It's very silly. Like there's like memes galore on the page. Like I guess I should talk about my own stuff more often, this glowingly. But like honestly, I don't have a Facebook presence, whatever. But like go to ETP guys.
Does he have an acronym for toot?
Maybe I don't know. Probably. But yeah, if you're on Facebook, go there, go to ETP, tell them I sent you. I'm sure nothing will happen to me, but it would be nice to get the credit.
Nothing will happen.
Nothing will
Like
happen to me.
Patrick just like shows up at your door.
I'm here at your $10,000 door.
Fart.
Bart. No, but powerlifting, yes. So yeah, one of the reasons I think it is so attractive to so many people is because the metrics of success, like we talked about, are super clearly outlined. Do you lift more or do you not? You get the rep
Right.
or you don't. The end. Within the fitness community, there's a lot of like memes. It's like I'm sure grooming or jujitsu or competitive kite flying, whatever. The more you get down the rabbit
Mm.
hole, the more niche your knowledge becomes. The more memes that pop out about like the kind of sub communities about it. And there's a lot of memes about the sub community of powerlifting about like you can like 5 reps is cardio is considered cardio for these guys because they lift an insane amount of weight one
Yeah.
time
So I
and
was
then
gonna
rest
ask,
for like
like,
10 minutes and do a completely different exercise.
so is power like what you see on like TikTok or whatever? Is
Mhm.
there before and afters happening, or is it literally just like 2 minutes of insane lifting and your workout is done?
That's a really good question. So most likely what you're seeing on TikTok is like training, which is different than the actual competition event. In the competition event, I believe, and that might be different from like event to event or like league to league, whatever. I believe you get like 2, maybe 3 attempts at each lift.
Mm.
Um, that being your squat, your deadlift, and your bench press. And then the idea is you go out, you do 1 rep, and then you take off. Someone else gets a couple of turns. You wait a few minutes, and you come back. You do the same exercise again, 1 rep for as heavy as you can possibly go. And these are normally different reps. Like normally people will talk about like their opening weight and then their like top weight, which is usually like their third or their
Mm.
second, I think. Kind of a little bit more warmed up to it. And so that like the actual time spent quote unquote in competition is extraordinarily short compared to what we consider a lot of other sports because it's like a few seconds at a time.
Mm.
Training for it can take a lot of different forms. Like there will be bulking season and like strength season, hypertrophy season, that kind of thing. But it is generally going to be centered around these 3 movements: a squat, a press, and a hinge. It's as a way to move your body around with resistance. It's a pretty complete discipline, again, to use that word, because you're hitting a lot of major muscle groups. It's a lot of very functional patterns that your body has to do. It's a good way, and I like what I like about it is that it's focusing a lot on like movement and movement quality more than on body parts or on muscles or muscle groups
That makes
specifically,
sense.
which is because when we start talking about bodybuilding, which is a sport and event all the way unto itself, it's a completely different animal. So
It
I
seems so
think
weird. I did not know that. I thought like just
mhm,
like powerlifting meant you lift heavy weights.
that's what it boils down to. Yeah, you lift heavy weights, but it's like these specific it's a specific
Huh.
way to lift heavy weights, a
Interesting.
specific like metric in which you do it. It is pretty. It's delightfully simple, right?
Yeah,
But
fair.
it's also extraordinarily hard
Right.
because like the simplicity leads to the difficulty of the practice itself. You know, the
Right.
action informs the act. Like doing a squat is simple to say on paper, but doing the heaviest squat you've ever done in your fucking life in front of like 100 screaming people is a whole other animal.
Mm, yeah.
Because that's what a powerlifting event is. And the thing is too is like it's competitive, yes, but it's also it's a crazy supportive community because
Yeah,
everyone's doing the
man.
same things. Everyone's doing the same stuff. They all know what it's like to be like, oh, my knee hurts because I do this. Well, I was like, well, that happened to me. It's probably XYZ 1, 2, or 3. Or like, I'm not feeling very confident about my bench press, or like, is my back arching too much? Or like, I feel like I'm a woman and I want to get into the sport, but I feel like it's just for meathead dudes. And then all these ladies crawl out of the woodwork and they're like, actually, we've been doing this for like decades and decades. Like, here's reasons and ways that you can be included in this awesome sport. Um, and like I
Yeah,
said,
whenever I
it's
see
very accessible.
people lift on TikTok, probably because of my algorithm, obviously,
Yeah,
but it is only ladies.
yeah, and I don't have the metrics in front of me, but like as far as like strength sports go, I've definitely seen a lot more women doing powerlifting than doing, say, Highland sport or strongman competition or strong person competition, I suppose.
Mm,
Even though those are
like
also
cheese
really
rolling.
awesome. Jeez, that I feel like is split down the middle 50-50 for men and women.
Honestly, yeah. It's like the most won competitions is held by women.
For cheese rolling?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
good to know. So where I'm curious about like do you have like what phase of action are you in? Are you in like the I'm planning to like I'm making plans to do powerlifting? Are you in the like the ideation phase where like this is a cool idea I'm interested in? I don't think we're in the action phase yet where you're physically actually doing it, but like there's different
Why?
because you haven't said that you are. I feel like it's the kind of thing you would talk about.
Oh, hey, I want to do it.
Okay, you're in the ideation phase right now. I'm just maybe clarify what I'm talking about right now. We talk about this a lot in coaching, kind of a behind the scenes look about things, about the stages of action, the stages of planning. And this is just like making a SMART goal, S.M.A.R.T thing,
Mm.
where like 4 or 5 distinct stages, and like
I
it's not
think
necessarily
we've talked about this, but whatever.
we've talked about goal setting being
Yeah.
specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound.
Yes.
Planning stages of planning or stages of action is similar in principle, but it's distinct in like what you do and why and like what it means. But
Okay, let me be more specific. Let me
okay,
smart it a little bit.
yes, please.
I want to have tried it by the next episode.
Okay, I love that. That's awesome. That gives us a time
Yes.
thing. It's realistic, it's attainable, and it's specific. So let's talk. Let's do some fucking coaching here, dude.
All
You're getting me
right.
all revved up. Where do you where do you want to go? Where there's a lot of places you can do. There's a lot of ways you can do this. Like, what's your
I was kind of hoping to do it at Soda.
so soda where I work in Minnetonka is I think a bit of a hike for what we're trying to do. It's like we're like
I literally just want to try it out one time to be like, this is cool, this is not cool.
sure. Um, hmm.
Because I don't want to like be getting a gym membership to be like
I hate
I
this.
need I what? Oh,
No, I'm so sorry.
you
So
were
to be like, I hate this and like don't want to do it anymore, kind of
oh,
thing.
I was like, Jesus, you were so
Sorry, no,
revved up.
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think I
Dear God.
delivered that in the wrong way. Yes.
You did. Okay. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I want to get a taste of it first
Uh huh.
without getting like a gym membership.
Uh huh.
Um, because I need to obviously be coached because I'm not looking to break my
Right.
back.
Yeah.
Um, and who knows schedule wise how this is gonna happen.
Right. That's the
Hashtag
whole thing.
kids.
Yeah.
But that's why I wanted to do it sort of fitness because
Hmm.
you're there.
I am. So here's the thing that we run into some issues there about like I don't want to say like the legality or whatever, like kind of like the rules of like coaching and how I coach, and doing sessions and training. Like it's not like I work at Anytime Fitness, so I can just sort of like have like floor time or whatever. Like like what I do at Soda is very specifically laid out.
Mm.
I think we probably could do it. I don't think it's like a good sustainable option.
I don't think no, it's not sustainable at
No.
all.
Yeah, it's very far away. Training at Soda is pretty expensive. We're a fairly high end like boutique sort of
I mean, you're in Minnetonka, so
gym. Exactly. Yeah. But I will say, people, listeners, you get what you pay for. We're
true
very good at what we do out there.
that.
I am very good at what we do. Phil runs a good spot out there. Shout out to Soda Fitness in Minnetonka. Aru.
Is that
Uh,
like your guys' howl?
no, that's just me shouting things.
Cool.
Or I could just go, ah! There we go. How's that?
Better.
I think it would probably behoove us to get a membership at like an Anytime Fitness or something like that, or
Okay.
whatever is open 24 hours and is nearby-ish to you and
I guess
successful.
one of the other attractive things about doing it at Soda is that I was hoping it could be like after hours or something like that, or just when nobody else is there.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's not really a time when nobody else is there.
Come
this,
on, Phil.
this guy, we're busy. We're good at
Phil,
this.
close
We're
it
just
down
busy.
so I can lift things
Close it,
alone.
close it down so one of your coach's sisters can come in and try lifting one time
Phil, be
for free.
cool.
Be cool for
Aru,
2 seconds. Bro. For 2 seconds, be cool, bro.
come on.
If you get a membership at like an Anytime Fitness, I will come up and coach you through some powerlifting movements. Uh, I'll
Okay.
I can clear time in my schedule, like on a weekend or something like that,
All right. I
to make it
think
happen.
yeah. It's probably going to be Shoreview Community Center.
Oh yeah, I haven't been there, but I would imagine that their facility is pretty
What? You
good.
haven't been there?
I mean, I've been there when I was like a child.
But
I
like
don't
you haven't
know.
brought Olivia?
I don't live around there. No.
Okay, you live. Let's say it again for everybody. 25 minutes
That's 25
away.
minutes in a car I don't want to spend with a freaking 5-year-old, dude. There's other
Oh
stuff that's
my
close by.
god.
She
Well,
doesn't
now
even
she's
lift,
gonna
dude.
have her Yodo, so she'll be
She
quiet
doesn't
and
even lift. She doesn't need
happy.
to go to the Shoreview Community Center.
She doesn't even lift.
Do you even lift, bro? She does get very into it though. Like when I work out, she's like, "Dad, watch me. I can work out too." And she does like these, just basically flops around. That's great. She's excited about it.
Lene had her very first watch me
Oh yeah,
today, and it was just like an arm flail.
looking good, kid. Keep it up.
Yes.
But yeah, I do want to return to talk about powerlifting, getting you to try it. I do like that we're setting a goal. By the time we set the new, by the time we do the next episode, might be a little bit of a tight window.
Yeah, this weekend is kind of tight. Oh
Mm-hmm.
shoot, I have a dog on
Yeah.
Monday too. Okay. Shoot, so many clients. I'm not complaining. I like money. Got to pay for
Love
that
it.
door, baby. Um,
That's door cash. That's door money, baby.
put it in my expensive door.
Yep.
Um, yeah, maybe Sunday.
I don't know, maybe.
Sunday.
Um.
Sunday, we're supposed to be getting a playset.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
like, shooties.
Dude.
Um, okay. So, no, it's fine.
Listeners, Rachel has apparently thrown her phone on the ground.
Yeet. Yeah, no, we're getting like just a used playset off of Marketplace.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we'll
There's a
see.
sword on the marketplace that I keep thinking about buying, but I literally just got one, so I probably shouldn't buy another sword.
Probably shouldn't.
It's only $100 though.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, maybe yeah. By next episode will be a little tight, but
Yeah.
how about by the end of September,
What's the date now?
the
17?
17th? We're halfway there,
I
baby.
think that's a good goal. I think it's a
Yeah.
good goal.
Okay.
Um, yeah, let's do that. Let's see if we can get you
Okay.
to do that.
Yeah.
Even I would strongly encourage you to consider getting signed up at the gym as soon as you possibly can. Just like pull that trigger, rip that band-aid off. Chances are they'll have like an initial consultation with a fitness person. Use it.
Oh, all right.
Go there and do it. I did fucking so
I was
many
gonna
of them
say, yeah.
when I worked at the YMCA for like 8 years, and it was not my favorite thing to do, mostly because people were not interested in what I had to
Right.
say. They're
Yeah,
like,
that'd be the worst.
mostly it was like people who were like, they literally told me I had to do this before I could use the gym. And it's like, that's not the case, man. If you just want to come in here and move things around, just do that. We're wasting everyone's time right now. But they
Yeah.
needed me to make sales, whatever. It's a whole other story.
Oh, all right.
I normally didn't. A lot of low income people coming through there. It's not the point of
Normally didn't.
the YMCA of what we were doing. But yeah, I would say, okay, join up, do the consultation if they have one, mention to the person that you're interested specifically in powerlifting, see what they say, see what they have.
Mention I have a podcast with a personal trainer.
Honestly, yes, like bring that up. Let them know, like, hey, I have this connection where like I'm already set, like as far as like coaching goes. They might try and sell you on personal training. Again, if you like the vibe is so important. I would say go for it. As an overall practice, especially when you're first starting out, I don't think powerlifting requires like a expert eye at it. I mean, obviously there's like a safety and a practice thing to it, but like to get the movement patterns. So the terminology I use a lot at work is flagrantly injurious. As long as it doesn't look flagrantly injurious, you're going to be doing it pretty much correctly.
Fair.
And like getting your body to move in the way it's supposed to is going to be the first biggest step. That's going to be
Yeah.
the biggest thing. Yeah,
It just reminds me of when I kettlebelled for the first time and I was just like giving that kettlebell the business. I was like,
you got
I
it.
don't think I don't think this is right.
Man.
That
Kettlebell's a good one.
submitted.
Whoa. It showed me its butt. Kettlebells are going to have a person there in person if you've never ever used one before.
Yeah, or else it's just gonna be.
Yeah. Also, I love teaching people kettlebell stuff. So if we've got a chance to do that, we should.
Yeah, I definitely want to check if Shoreview has a row
I
machine.
can almost guarantee that they will.
Okay.
The Concept 2 rower is it's like a standardized almost piece of equipment in so many places.
Yeah, exercising sitting down. Hell yeah.
I will say there's not much sitting down that happens with powerlifting. You are on your feet for two of the lifts, but you are literally laying down for the other one. So a little bit of plus minus on that.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I would say that two of the lifts, squatting and deadlifting, are what you would call heavy standing up.
Well, I'm doing that whenever I stand up.
fucking got him, dude.
That's the
Oh,
RF podcast.
that's the RF Fitness podcast. No, I need to do my progress check on the
Oh, all right, all right, all
hashtag
right. Sorry.
Road to 200. I know you guys are clamoring to know what my body weight is. It's up.
What
I
is it?
I'm at like 190-ish right now, which is pretty exciting. I know. So the
Whoa.
first time in a long time I've been there like on purpose.
Yeah.
Probably
What did
actually
you
be
start at?
like 183. Just kind
Damn,
of walking
bro.
around. That was like
Literally, damn,
six weeks
bro.
ago. So yeah. Um, yeah, actually, my first note here talking about it is from August 21st, and now here we are, September 17th. So yeah, pretty good progress as far as like putting weight on. I said in an Instagram thing a little while ago because I'm only taking my weight and measurements, whatever, every 2 weeks. This past Saturday, I took my measurements. My weight was up. My circumference measurements, centimeters, inches, whatever, for my waist and
Thick.
thick. Waist and hips, so basically my butt and my gut are the same, unchanged. My arms and legs are thicker. This is why I am the baby thick boy on this episode. I'm
Oh, yeah. I guess I
feeling
never
a little bit
asked for the
thicker.
explanation.
That's yeah.
Just thought you were.
I can see why you wouldn't though without context. That makes perfect sense. And honestly, I'm like feeling thicker and feeling stronger and athletic. It's why because I'm purposely eating a lot more than usual. I'm being very particular, but like more protein and water than anything else.
Mm,
But it is what because like when I first started, like a while it was earlier this week with my Quest group people. Quest groups is going great, by the way. We're 2 weeks in. With my Quest group people, I was talking about like tracking your nutrition, doing my Fitness Pal thing because like I don't do that normally when I'm eating at maintenance because I can just like feel it out. But then I was like, well, I should like actually know what my goals are, and it was like 3,000 calories a day and like 190 whatever things of protein every day. And I was like,
dang.
yeah, I was like, oh, let's see if we can do this. And chat, I could not. It's so much fucking food, dude.
Huh.
It's so much. It was like difficult for me to eat that much. I'm like I could eat that much if it was like in McDonald's Big Macs or something like that because it's like
Right.
basically pre-processed. We talked about this. It's pre-processed. I can just eat 100 of them or whatever. I can eat 3,000 calories in Oreos, no problem. But like actual meat, like that takes up so much. Like the actual literal time on the clock it takes to eat that
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
The actual monetary financial cost of that much animal product
Yeah.
is so much. It's a lot. So I haven't been quite that aggressive, but I've been eating a lot lately, and it's obviously it's working. Like I said, I've been getting back into jujitsu here. I'm doing the no-gi stuff, which is a lot more athletic and explosive and faster paced than it is in the gi in the battle jammies. The no-gi is
Jeez.
sans battle jammies. You're basically wearing like the superhero spandex sex criminal suit with some little gym shorts over it.
There's so many terms happening.
If you listen to this and you do jujitsu, you know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
right. That's
My
like when
my
people
spats.
hear us, like when civilians hear us groomers talk, and they're like, "What did you just say?"
You're just talking about grooming out in the open. Wow. But yeah, I feel like energized and good at that. I feel like I am stronger at things. I'm starting to get better at the sport of jujitsu. But yeah, I can feel it both in the gym, in my clothes, and in my sport, which is
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so across those are pretty much all the three things I need to check out, which is great. So I'm feeling really good about that. Um, I think the I honestly think that the biggest thing that's helping me with that is in September I'm trying to train literally every single day, and I haven't hit that quite yet. There has been 2 days where I didn't train at all. One was on purpose, one was kind of not on purpose. But I think this this constant stimulus paired with this intentional upping of caloric intake is what is. I mean, like if you're a fitness person or a fitness coach listening to this right now, you're like, "Duh, Rob," but like to do it on myself, and like see it and to feel it in action in
Reading is
real
the
time.
red folder, Rob.
Yeah, it's just every time, everybody. Yeah, it's different to like talk about it in scientific terms. It's different to see it on paper and like see it and to feel it happening. It's different.
Yeah, right.
It's cool and exciting to see the results happening. But yeah, like the constant stimulus. That's kind of what I want to talk about. I'll talk about in the overview is the login bonus.
Oh yeah,
Just say, yeah,
this is a long episode, my friend.
we're getting there. You know what? We took 2 weeks off. Whatever. We
Oh,
took a week
that's
off.
true.
Yeah. So make up for it.
So
So
shut up and listen to logins.
shut up about my login bonus. So I was talking about this with a client a couple months ago. I think it was Colin actually, who may or may not listen to this.
Colin.
Colin, shout out to my Alaska guy. Um, and we were talking about just like how do I get because I think we were talking about his difficulty with um, this might sound familiar, all or nothing thinking. Like I have to go all
That
in
doesn't
or I
know.
have to
I don't
be
know who you're talking to.
everyone on this podcast. I actually had someone, a client of mine and a good friend, who started listening to the podcast recently, and she was like, "Yeah, like
Ew.
you were talking with Rachel about the all or nothing thing." It's like that sounds just like me. I did the same things. Like so does everybody else. Yes, this is
Right.
the nearly universal issue. But yeah, I'll talk about like how it has to be all or nothing. Like how to like almost like weaponize that, like make it like good or whatever instead of like this damaging thing.
Use the
Um,
power for good and not evil.
Precisely. And he's a gamer like me. So I said, like, if you've ever played like a mobile game or like an MMORPG like World of Warcraft or something like that, these games will often have something called like a login bonus. I might have talked about this in the pod before, actually, where like every time you sign into the game, you get a little reward.
Mm,
Basically, because the game wants you logged in, because when you log into the game,
right.
you see the things and you're more likely to make a microtransaction to pay 99 cents for an extra Pokeball or whatever. Um, But the fact of the matter is, it keeps you coming back and it keeps you playing the game. The game we want to be playing right now is training stimulus, is getting better at something, is being intentional about improving something and moving forward towards your goal. Our login bonus is to do something every day on purpose that gets you closer to your goal. Technically, that is training no matter what it is. So for me, what that looks like is workouts pretty much every day except for 2. So I've now worked out 15 of the last 17 days. Some of them are more
Solid.
intense. Some of them are just like I get on the bike for 5 minutes and stretch for 5 minutes and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, some of them, it's the one last week on Wednesday. I just didn't do anything at all. That was an intentional one. That was rest. Just don't do anything. I was like, I'm super burnt out. I don't have the energy. Like I knew it was getting burnt out last week on Wednesday when I was like, I have the energy for a workout. I physically could do the workout. I I know I should do the workout, but like every inch of me in my bones is just like, don't do it right now. Like it was a very different kind of like don't do the workout feeling for me because there was like I'm just not feeling it, or like my body hurts, like I'm sore or whatever. This is just like something that says just don't. You're gonna overdo it.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I rested. And then Saturday, we just had other stuff going on. We went to the zoo. It was fun. Whatever. But yeah, the login bonus, I think, is a very, very useful way to think about training fitness. And it could
Yeah.
be something
Right.
that takes 5 minutes. It can be a workout that takes an hour and a half. If you're doing it every day, I wouldn't recommend that. Like 45 minutes is kind of like the magic, 30 to 45 minutes. I think it's like the magic length for most workouts, especially if you're doing this kind of volume, this kind of frequency. Yeah, and it works by keeping you consistent. It works by making it something you do every day to the point
Right.
where you take it for granted. I think the example that I usually give is like it's like brushing your teeth, but I don't brush my teeth every day because I'm a fucking weirdo who is a 7-year-old child inside of my brain who for some reason still hates brushing his teeth. I don't know why. I'm a grown ass
Mm,
man. I can't make myself do it every single day.
I'm
I
really
do
bad
it.
at
I
washing
do it
my hair.
99% of the time. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's like a thing that's, I can tie my shoes every day. That's whatever. You know, it's just a thing I take for granted now. Doing anything for your progress, for your goal, whatever that is, if it's weight loss or getting stronger, getting bigger, getting better at piano, whatever. It doesn't have to play piano. You
Competitive kite
could
flying. Do you remember when
competitive
you
kite
got
flying.
drugged by that kite?
Dragged. And yes,
That's what I said.
you said drugged.
No, I didn't.
You fucking gaslighting me right now, dude. Are you kite lighting me right now? So yeah, that's the login bonus. It's basically a long-winded way of saying doing something every day is not unreasonable.
Right.
if you set a reasonable expectation for what that thing is every day. So that's the difference. You know, to use a
Yeah.
game, to use a gaming analogy, you get the login bonus just for clicking login. You don't get the login bonus for turning on the game and then playing for an hour. You get it
Right.
just for showing up. I guess
Right.
that's what I should boil it down to. You get credit just for showing up. That's what
Yeah.
so much of this is. Just show
Right.
up, guys. Just
I
be
mean,
there.
yeah, because like, yeah, if you're in your workout gear and you have your water bottle and you're in the
Mm,
space and you have all your gear, you're not just gonna be like, okay, count. Like this counts.
right. Honestly, like if I had a client who's like, I did this today and that's all I got, I'd be like, cool, good,
Fair.
do it.
Right.
You did that. If you get that far, like you're standing in the building in your kit, and you're still like, no, then that's probably the right call for you in that moment. You know,
Yeah,
if you can
fair.
get that, because that was like I said, that was me on Wednesdays. Like if there's something
Right.
in you that's saying like, not right now, not like this, I'd say honor that.
Yeah.
Maybe not every time. There's gonna be times where you have to push through discomfort, push through uncomfortability.
Right.
Um, yeah, I'd say let's do that. Show up, guys. Anything else, Rachel, before we sign off?
I tried the sweet potato gnocchi from Trader Joe's and it was incredible.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I guess I didn't check the max on it, but
eh,
I mean, and I put it with chicken sausage and broccoli, and it like is
ooh,
in its own kind of sauce sort of thing. I just like added a little bit of seasoning on
yeah,
it, made it in literally 10 minutes,
hell yeah.
uh, and it was so good.
my
Very
breakfast,
filling.
my breakfast of choice lately has been the chicken apple or the chicken sausages from Target, like the
Mm-hmm.
Archer's Farms brand. I cut that
Yep.
up and I fry that in the same pan I'm frying my 2 eggs, and that's like 30ish grams of protein. It's hyper filling and it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
very tasty. Good breakfast. Highly
My
recommend.
breakfast has 50 grams of protein. It's excessive.
Wow. Okay, dude. Way to flex. Flex is pro. This has been the RF Fitness Podcast, brought to you by rffitness.net. If you are interested in beginning your fitness quest, you can go to rffitness.net. That's
Thank God.
RF. That's RFFITNESS.NET to learn more. If you're also interested in joining our free online community, you can scroll to the bottom of that page and click the join the party button to join our Discord, where we talk about this stuff. The Questies channel is very active. I think the rest of them aren't super active right now because most of us are in the Questies channel. I'm going to be honest. But yeah, hit us up,
If you're not in the
guys.
Questies channel, where the fuck you at?
Languishing with the peasants in the comment chat.
Talking about apple orchards. Shout out.
Shout
You
out
know
to
who you
apples.
are.
Keep questing, guys.
Bye.
Bye.